Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat
Waalaikumsalam.
malam, salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan. Yang terhormat, Dekan Sekolah Interdisiplin Manajemen dan Teknologi SIMT-ITS, Bapak Profesor Insinyur Inyoman Pujawan, MM PhD CSCP. Yang kami hormati, Wakil Dekan SIMT-ITS, Bapak R. Haryo Duito Armono, ST MM PhD. Yang kami hormati, Kepala Program Studi Pascasarjana Manajemen Teknologi, Bapak Jerry Dwite Purnomo, MSI PhD. Yang kami hormati, Kepala Program Studi Pascasarjana Magister Inovasi Sistem dan Teknologi, Bapak Dinariana Dwi Putranta, ST MES PhD. Yang kami hormati, Kepala Program Studi Program Profesi Insinyur ITS, Bapak Insinyur Ridho Bayu Aji, ST MT PhD, IPM ASEAN Eng. Yang kami hormati, Sekretaris Program Studi Pascasarjana Manajemen Teknologi, Ibu Gita Widi Bawika, SST MMT. Yang kami hormati, Kepala Bagian Tata Usaha SIMT-ITS, Bapak Agus Dwi Purwolastanto, SEMACC, AKCA. Yang kami hormati, Manajer Program Pendidikan Bersertifikat, Bapak Agus Santoso, SSOS Medcom. Tentunya yang kami hormati pula, Bapak Ibu dosen Program Magister Manajemen Teknologi, Magister Inovasi Sistem dan Teknologi, serta Doktor Manajemen Teknologi, dan tentunya Bapak Ibu mahasiswa baru Program Pascasarjana SIMT-ITS yang berbahagia. Kami ucapkan selamat datang dalam semester Opening Lecture SIMT-ITS 26 Agustus 2022, malam hari ini bersama saya, Aziz Hakim Askelani. Merupakan suatu kebanggaan bisa bertemu dengan Bapak Ibu mahasiswa baru Program Pascasarjana SIMT-ITS mengawali perkuliahan semester Gasal tahun 2022-2023. Semoga acara pada malam hari ini dapat menjadi awal yang baik sebagai bekal perkuliahan Bapak Ibu ke depan. Baik, Bapak Ibu, kami berikan kesempatan mungkin untuk perkenalan secara singkat. Bapak Ibu bisa menuliskan di kolom chat Zoom ini nama lengkap Bapak Ibu, kemudian asal bidang keahliannya apa, dan juga berasal dari mana begitu. Kita ingin tahu lebih jauh jangkauan mahasiswa SIMT-ITS itu paling jauh dari mana begitu. Silakan Bapak Ibu bisa menuliskan nama dan juga bidang serta asal kotanya. Baik, selamat malam Pak Aditya dari Cilegon, Banten. Selamat malam juga untuk Bu Gresia Silalahi. Selamat malam Pak Rizky dari Jogja. Ada Pak Helmi dari Cibubur, Bu Kristina. Selamat malam juga Bapak Firdaus. Ada yang dari Medan, dari Bontang, dari Jember. Baik, ada dari Timika Papua Bapak Ibu. Ada juga tadi ada dari Thailand, ada Pak Bobi dari Surabaya, Pak Adi dari Jakarta, ada Pak Luki, ada, wah cepat sekali nih Bapak Ibu, ada Ibu Daisy dari Bogor. Oke, sangat macam, ada Pak Ernest dari Sorong, Papua. Baik, ada juga Pak Hans Dompu dari NTB. Ada Ibu Novianita dari Gresik. Ada dari Jawa, ada dari Sumatera, ada Kalimantan. Nah, baik. Oke, ada Ibu Isnani dari Malang. Ada juga dari Balikpapan. Selamat malam Pak Lutfi. Baik. Oke, sangat banyak sekali. Luar biasa, sangat beragam sekali asal kota mahasiswa baru Pascasarjana SIMT-ITS semester ini. Tentu Bapak Ibu selain asal daerah tadi yang beragam, mahasiswa baru program Pascasarjana di SIMT-ITS semester ini juga berasal dari berbagai universitas yang berbeda. Berasal dari beragam jurusan, beragam usia, beragam latar belakang pekerjaan. Namun tentu memiliki satu tujuan, yakni menimba ilmu pada program Pascasarjana di SIMT-ITS tentunya. Dan semoga hal ini dapat menjadi networking yang baik bagi Bapak Ibu untuk melanjutkan studi di SIMT-ITS. Baik Bapak Ibu, Bapak Ibu, tanpa berlama-lama lagi, mari kita mulai acara pada malam hari ini dengan mendengarkan sambutan sekaligus perkenalan SIMT-ITS yang akan disampaikan oleh Dekan SIMT-ITS kepada Profesor Inyoman Pujawan. Kami persilahkan.
Baik, selamat malam semuanya. Terima kasih Mas Aziz. Baik, saya ucapkan selamat datang kepada semua mahasiswa baru. Ini hari yang sangat berbahagia tentunya. Saya harapkan semuanya bisa open camp ya, pada saat kita pertemuan-pertemuan di SIMT, semua nanti yang bersifat online, ada kewajiban di kelas-kelas maupun di sesi-sesi yang sifatnya online, setiap orang harus buka kamera ya. Itu adalah rule yang sudah kita sepakati. Yang kedua tentu saja mohon dijaga kalau pas lagi tidak dalam tugas untuk menyampaikan sesuatu, ya sound-nya di-off-kan ya, di-mute ya, supaya tidak mengganggu yang lain. Baik, kita punya waktu sebentar sebelum kita mulai dengan acara kuliah tamu. Kita setiap semester mengadakan acara yang sejenis. Saya ingin menyampaikan beberapa hal. Yang pertama mungkin nanti adalah perkenalan ya. Jadi perkenalan karena Anda masuk ke program yang berada di bawah sekolah ya. Jadi sekolah namanya Sekolah Interdisiplin Manajemen dan Teknologi. Nah, sekolah ini adalah sebuah organ di dalam ITS yang setara dengan fakultas. Jadi ITS itu punya 7 fakultas dan 1 sekolah. Nah, sekolah ini baru dibentuk sebenarnya tahun lalu, tapi program-programnya sebagian ada yang sudah lama, ada juga yang masih baru. Ya. Nah, ini adalah pengelola program di Sekolah Interdisiplin Manajemen dan Teknologi. Yang pertama, saya sendiri, saya Nyoman Pujawan, aslinya saya di teknik industri, ya sampai sekarang ya masih di sana, tetapi diberi tugas sementara untuk mengelola Sekolah Interdisiplin Manajemen dan Teknologi ini, dibantu dengan Pak Haryo. Pak Haryo ada di sini, Pak Haryo?
Selamat malam. Selamat malam, Bro. Selamat malam, Pak Ibu
Selamat
sekalian.
malam. Ya, baik. Pak Haryo adalah wakil dekan dari teknik kelautan di ITS. Ya. Kemudian setelah itu kita punya 2 program studi bergelar. Yang pertama adalah program studi pasca sarjana manajemen teknologi, yang di dalamnya ada program S2, yaitu program Magister Manajemen Teknologi dan program Doktor Manajemen Teknologi, yang ketua program studinya adalah Pak Jerry. Pak Jerry berasal dari statistik. Pak Jerry, selamat malam.
Ya, selamat malam, Prof. Nyoman, selamat malam Bapak Ibu semuanya.
Ya, terima kasih Pak Jerry. Nanti setelah sesi kita di ruang besar ini selesai, Anda semua akan dibagi menjadi 2 ruangan untuk perkenalan lebih lanjut mengenai program studi dan penyampaian beberapa hal yang Anda perlu ketahui selama menjadi mahasiswa di ITS ya. Kemudian Pak Jerry ini dibantu oleh Bu Gita dari manajemen bisnis yang menjabat sebagai sekretaris program studi manajemen teknologi ITS. Malam Bu Gita.
Selamat malam, Prof. Nyoman.
Baik, kemudian program studi yang kedua adalah program studi baru. Jadi kalau Magister Manajemen Teknologi itu sudah cukup lama ya, kita sudah punya program ini selama 26 tahun. Sedangkan kita berikutnya punya program studi baru juga, namanya program studi Magister Inovasi Sistem dan Teknologi, yang kepala program studinya adalah Pak Dinar, ya Pak Dinariana dari Teknik Sistem Perkapalan. Selamat malam Pak Dinar.
Selamat malam Prof. Nyoman, selamat malam Bapak dan Ibu. Salam kenal.
Baik Pak Dinar, kemudian berikutnya kita juga punya program studi yang bukan gelar akademik tetapi gelar profesi, yaitu program profesi insinyur. Ini adalah program yang bekerja sama dengan PII, ya, jadi Persatuan Insinyur Indonesia. Yang ketua program studinya adalah Profesor Ridho Bayu Aji. Selamat malam Pak Ridho. Belum ada. Kemudian yang selanjutnya kita punya program juga, yang berikutnya adalah program pelatihan bersertifikat, ya, yang dalam hal ini kita punya manajer program pelatihan bersertifikat, di mana kita menyelenggarakan pelatihan non gelar, ya, untuk peningkatan kompetensi bagi para profesional yang bekerja di lapangan, yang manajernya adalah Bapak Agus Santoso. Selamat malam, Agus.
Selamat malam, Prof. Nyoman. Selamat malam, Bapak dan Ibu semuanya.
Baik. Nah, kemudian untuk urusan ketatausahaan, kita punya kepala bagian tata usaha Sekolah Interdisiplin Manajemen Teknologi yang menjadi koordinator lah, jadi ketua dari semua tenaga akademik yang ada di SIMT-ITS, yaitu Pak Agus Dwi Purwolastomo. Selamat malam Pak Agus.
Selamat malam Prof. Nyoman, selamat malam semuanya.
Baik. Nah, itu adalah kami yang bertugas sebagai manajemen di Sekolah Interdisiplin Manajemen dan Teknologi. Nah, kita punya kampus di ITS yang terpisah dari kampus utama. Jadi kalau yang di Surabaya mungkin pernah lewat, ini adalah kampus ITS yang sebenarnya lebih tua dibandingkan dengan kampus utama yang ada di Sukolilo yang besar. Ini berada di Jalan Cokro Aminoto. Nah, jadi semua kegiatan administrasi, perkuliahan, ruang baca ada di gedung ini, ya, di gedung SIMT-ITS Jalan Cokro Aminoto. Jadi kalau Anda pas lewat silakan mampir, ya, termasuk yang dari Jakarta atau dari luar kota. Kalau lagi ke Surabaya silakan mampir di kampus ini, ya. Nah, dulu ini sebenarnya kampus ini menjadi kantor pusatnya ITS tahun-tahun ketika ITS itu awal-awal berdiri, ya. Baik. Nah, jadi kita punya program Magister Manajemen Teknologi dan Doktor Manajemen Teknologi yang berada di bawah prodi yang sama, yaitu yang terkait dengan manajemen teknologi. Tadi saya sampaikan kalau MMT ini sudah 26 tahun, kalau Doktor Manajemen Teknologi ini kita baru jalan 2 tahun, ya. Sedangkan Magister Inovasi Sistem dan Teknologi baru 1 tahun, ya. Program profesi insinyur sudah beberapa tahun, sedangkan program pendidikan bersertifikasi ini juga baru sekitar 1 tahun. Ya, jadi banyak program-program kita yang baru. Nah, program yang paling besar adalah program Magister Manajemen Teknologi. Kita punya lebih dari 1.000 mahasiswa di dalam prodi ini, di dalam program Magister Manajemen Teknologi ini, dan kita menawarkan 7 bidang keahlian. Nanti mungkin Pak Jerry akan menjelaskan lebih lanjut. Dan kita termasuk yang sangat inovatif di dalam memunculkan program-program yang berbeda dengan yang lain. Jadi tahun 2018 ketika saya diminta mengelola program ini, kemudian kita mengembangkan banyak sekali bidang keahlian baru yang betul-betul menjadi bidang keahlian yang sangat dibutuhkan di dunia kerja dan sangat up to date seperti business analytics, supply chain management, innovation design management, dan sekarang kita punya technomarketing yang merupakan kerjasama dengan Marketplace Institute. Ya. Kemudian di Magister Inovasi Sistem dan Teknologi yang sekarang sedang berjalan adalah Renewable Energy sama teknologi startup yang peminatnya juga cukup banyak. Ya. Nah, saya tidak akan menjelaskan ini. Barangkali ada beberapa informasi highlight saja yang perlu saya sampaikan. Yang pertama adalah terkait dengan komitmen kita untuk menjaga supaya pendidikan kita ini memang punya kualitas yang tinggi. Termasuk kita menghadirkan banyak sekali pembicara-pembicara tamu, baik yang dari akademisi, praktisi, maupun dari orang-orang yang bisa memberikan insight yang agak berbeda, termasuk yang malam ini saya undang adalah pernah menjadi juara Miss World Malaysia dan menjadi seorang associate professor pada bidang musik dan music technology, tentunya mungkin punya pandangan-pandangan yang agak berbeda dengan kita. Jadi memang kita sekarang waktunya untuk belajar lintas disiplin, melihat perspektif dari sudut yang berbeda, belajar berpikir out of the box. Nah, dalam rangka itulah maka saya kadang-kadang melihat bahwa program-program kita itu tidak selalu harus lurus jalan ke depan, tetapi kita harus juga bisa berbelok ke kiri ke kanan dalam arti kita memperkaya perspektif dari hal-hal yang berbeda. Nah, kemudian dalam waktu yang relatif singkat saya ingin menyampaikan kepada Anda semua bahwa belajar ketika Anda masuk ke ITS ini tentu adalah satu kebanggaan, tentu saja. Ya tentu saya tahu banyak di antara yang ada di audiens ini, S1-nya sudah teknik mesin, teknik elektro, atau mungkin jurusan-jurusan lain di ITS. Jadi Anda mungkin sebenarnya sudah pernah menjadi mahasiswa di ITS. Bagi yang belum pernah, maka saya ucapkan, ya bagi yang sudah pernah, saya ucapkan welcome back, jadi selamat bergabung kembali. Sedangkan yang baru pertama kali, saya ucapkan selamat datang dan selamat bergabung di ITS. Nah, menjadi sivitas akademika di ITS tentu adalah sebuah kebanggaan tersendiri, karena Anda semua mungkin tahu bahwa ITS adalah salah satu perguruan tinggi yang terbaik di Indonesia, salah satu yang terbaik di Indonesia dari berbagai dimensi. Ya. Nah, kemudian untuk Anda yang masuk ke Sekolah Interdisiplin Manajemen dan Teknologi ini, perlu saya sampaikan bahwa program-program kita memang dirancang hampir semua fit in dengan para profesional yang sudah bekerja. Jadi para profesional yang sudah bekerja, yang ingin meningkatkan kompetensi ketika sudah beberapa lama berada di dunia kerja. Banyak sekali mahasiswa-mahasiswa ketika S1 mungkin ngambil kuliah-kuliah seperti teknik dan sebagainya, yang tidak banyak belajar ilmu-ilmu manajemen atau kreativitas, inovasi, dan lain sebagainya. Nah, begitu masuk ke dunia kerja, itu akan menjadi sebuah tuntutan. Ya. Nah, tentu saja karena kebanyakan dari Anda ini adalah orang-orang yang sudah bekerja, sekolah sambil bekerja tentu membutuhkan effort ekstra. Apalagi kalau kuliahnya malam, akhir pekan, maka hanya dengan extra effort lah, dan dengan dedikasi dan komitmen yang tinggi, maka proses itu akan bisa dilalui dengan baik. Ya. Tetapi tidak ada sama sekali toleransi, walaupun misalnya ini kuliahnya malam, kemudian sudah capek bekerja dan lain sebagainya. Tapi standar kita semuanya sama. Ya, standar kita sama bahwa untuk lulus membutuhkan effort, ya, dan harus berdasarkan pada nilai-nilai yang memang dijunjung tinggi di masyarakat. Yang pertama adalah integriti, ya. Jadi kita sangat menjunjung tinggi integritas, ya. Jadi jangan sampai Anda membayangkan bahwa oh ini kuliah gampang, bisa online, tidak perlu belajar keras, kita bisa nyontek, tukar-tukaran jawaban dan lain sebagainya. mohon sama sekali tidak memiliki pandangan seperti itu, karena kita sangat ketat terhadap integritas. Ya, beberapa minggu yang lalu kita sangat kecewa karena ternyata ada beberapa mahasiswa yang tidak jujur di dalam melakukan tes bahasa Inggris, ya. Dan indikasi seperti itu relatif mudah untuk kita tangkap, dan kita akhirnya melakukan pendalaman, dan ternyata memang beberapa hal itu terjadi, dan kita sangat kecewa bahwa di dunia perguruan tinggi yang seharusnya kita itu sangat menjunjung integritas, ternyata masih ada celah-celah di mana mahasiswa ataupun insan yang lain masih keluar dari batas-batas integritas tersebut. Kita patut menyayangkan kalau hal-hal yang seperti itu terjadi, baik di ITS misalnya maupun di tempat lain. Maka saya berpesan dengan sangat kepada Anda semua, masuk sebagai mahasiswa di ITS, hilangkan jauh-jauh keinginan untuk keluar dari batas-batas integritas. Ya. Yang kedua adalah kedisiplinan. Di awal tadi ketika saya pertama kali masuk, saya ngecek berapa orang yang menyalakan kamera. Saya tidak tahu, kebetulan saya tidak bergabung sejak sangat awal. Nah, ternyata banyak sekali yang tutup kamera. Saya tidak suka kalau kita sedang bertatap muka. Saya kemarin cukup kecewa ketika melakukan perwalian, ada yang mengundang saya perwalian, ternyata saya menyalakan kamera hampir sendiri di awal, di tengah-tengah ada beberapa yang mulai menyalakan kamera, kebanyakan ternyata tidak. Gitu. Nah, itu kan seperti kalau kita ketemu, kita tutup muka, sementara teman yang lain open. Ya. Jadi saya kira itu bukan tata krama yang baik di dalam berkomunikasi. Jadi kita punya aturan di SIMT-ITS ini bahwa nanti ketika Anda kuliah online wajib menyalakan kamera. Ya. Nah, banyak hal yang saya kira menjadi penting ketika Anda menjadi mahasiswa ini, apalagi yang program-program PJJ, di mana selama ini kita punya challenge untuk melakukan quality control atau pengendalian kualitas, kemudian memonitor bagaimana proses itu berlangsung. Mohon mungkin bisa di-off-kan ya, di-mute yang tidak sedang berkepentingan. Nah, hal-hal seperti itu mohon untuk diperhatikan ya. Dosennya lagi ngomong, kemudian Anda tiba-tiba masuk, kemudian membawa keributan. Ya, itu kalau di kelas secara fisik, Anda sama saja dengan ngetok pintu pada saat kelas sedang berlangsung, kemudian Anda ribut-ribut masuk dari luar. Ya, jadi mohon itu diperhatikan kedisiplinan yang seperti itu. Nah, terakhir saya ingin sampaikan, ini beberapa list yang mungkin perlu Anda catat ya. Pertama, silakan download kalender akademik. Jangan sampai tidak tahu jadwal pembayaran SPP misalnya, karena seringkali ada mahasiswa yang datang kemudian minta supaya diberikan tenggang waktu pembayaran SPP karena lupa bahwa pembayaran SPP-nya sudah berakhir kemarin, dan itu sangat merepotkan. Ya, kemudian pada saat perwalian biasanya Bapak, Ibu, Kaprodi, Sekprodi ini mengumpulkan mahasiswa di awal semester, diberikan penjelasan. Mohon untuk hadir dan ikuti penjelasan-penjelasannya supaya proses perwaliannya itu tidak menjadi sangat kompleks. Dan sampai malam ini pun begitu banyak yang kontak ke saya karena masalah-masalah perwalian. Ya, itu problemnya bisa dua arah, karena mungkin jumlah kelasnya mungkin terbatas, juga barangkali banyak sekali mahasiswa yang attempt untuk mengambil terlalu banyak, sementara nanti di tengah-tengah perkuliahan mereka ternyata tidak mampu dan akhirnya ngedrop. Itu kan sebenarnya hal yang cukup menyulitkan dan sia-sia bagi banyak orang, gitu ya. Dan banyak informasi-informasi lain, termasuk Instagram SIMT-ITS itu yang cukup aktif. Silakan follow semuanya, karena banyak sekali informasi-informasi yang disampaikan oleh Instagram lewat Instagram. Kemudian website, kita punya website, ya. Silakan ikuti semua itu. Nah, saya kira nanti Pak Jerry, kemudian Pak Dinar pada saat breakout session akan menyampaikan lebih banyak informasi-informasi mengenai bagaimana perkuliahan di SIMT-ITS. Baik, itu saja karena waktunya sudah mendekati jam 7. kita akan berganti. Saya akan mengecek kembali apakah tamu kita sudah hadir ya. Sebentar.
Sudah, Bro. Sudah hadir, Bro.
Oh, sudah.
Ya.
Oke, baik. Kalau demikian, maka saya akan akhiri dulu sesi saya. Kemudian sebentar lagi kita akan welcome tamu kita, Dr. Soo Wincci. Are you here already?
Yes, I'm here. Apa kabar semua?
Halo. Hai, thank you.
Hi. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
baik.
Kabar baik.
Oke,
Kabar
selamat
baik.
malam.
Hi. How are you? I'm
Hello.
good. I'm still in my office in UITM in Malaysia.
Oh,
Jadi, ya, sekarang sini saya malam pukul 8 malam.
okay.
Yeah.
So you work very hard.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, a lot of things to share. Yeah,
All right.
yeah. So
Thank you very much on
Thank you.
behalf of the School of Interdisciplinary Management and Technology. I would like to welcome you to ITS.
thank you.
ITS is one of the leading public university in Indonesia. We are located in Surabaya, in East Java. We have around more than 20,000 students overall.
Wow,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, more than 1,000 faculty members.
Wow, that's crazy.
Right, yeah. And in our school, we only have postgraduate students. So we have master students and doctoral students, in addition to some students who are doing professional studies. So we are very, very happy to have you here, Dr. Soo Wincci. And I think people are very much looking forward to listening to your talk. And I have shared some information about you to our students. And I think some faculty members are also joining here in this meeting this evening. So just a short introduction, but I know that Dr. Soo Wincci is very famous. Many of you probably have seen her biography and in some social media. She was a winner of the Miss World Malaysia. Is that in 2008, I think?
Yes.
Yeah. And then one out of many Miss World who probably finished PhD. And what I heard, if I'm not wrong, is that you are now doing the second PhD. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm finishing that soon as well.
That's really amazing. So I only have one PhD, and you have done, and you do another one. Yeah. So that's really great. So we very much look forward to listening to your talk. And as I mentioned before, you have around 45 minutes.
Yes.
For your talk, and then probably 20 to 30 minutes for Q&A after that.
Sure, no problem.
Yeah, Dr. Soo Wincci, time is yours now.
Thank
My
you so
colleague,
much.
Bugita will help you to share the slide. Okay?
Amazing, amazing.
All right.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I guess that okay. So aku bertutur dalam bahasa Inggris ya. I was thinking, should I make it in bahasa Indonesia? Okay, Sam. Okay, so okay. Before I even start the talk, I guess that let me introduce about a bit of my journeys and stuff. Congratulations to everyone, and of course, for a postgraduate route, it is the direction now for the international market. And my background, I was from pure science, so I was actually from chemical engineering. I reinvented law, and then I took my master in business and PhD in business. Then second in music technology, and then second one in artistic production as well. So currently, I'm also teaching music business and music technology in Malaysia. So things have changed. I've been multidisciplinary and all those things. So now we are looking today. I'm going to show you some insights where global issues, a lot of things where the direction of the whole industry, where we say, so that then you guys have a clear direction of the future employment or the future skills or even your own future direction. That would be very important for every postgraduate student, because postgraduate, it's quite deep. but it is fruitful if you can go through it. And also that would be the game. The game is always nowadays is up there, not down there. So as we go into industry revolution, so can I have the next slide? So before, when we say about some things, we have to analyze the history, of course. Where are we today? So we transform a few phases of industry, from industry 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, machinery, mass production, into now 4.0, which is everything digitalization, cyber, physical system, or everything including about informatic and systematic thing. So industry 4.0 or even industry 5.0 is coming. So the direction definitely is transforming into the smart technological kind of like, multidisciplinary, or everything is borderless, as I mentioned. So can I have the next slide? So all these things, this one is created something borderless where it is an intelligence industry. So a lot of people don't understand why, dah popular, kenapa pergi belajar lagi semua. Because we know the game now, it is in the intelligence society. Even in the popularity game or whatever, is going to innovate themselves into the next level. So a lot of things, as we see that, Industry 4.0, it is technological stuff. Yes, AI is coming up, but you need very intelligent talents to manage this industry, especially the growth of your government, growth of your corporate, or even growth of yourself. The market is very deep for this, okay? So a lot of times, if we are the pioneer or leader to kind of go into this market and get all the education or get all the information and stuff, then you write the game for the next phase, okay? So internet changed a lot of things. So the technology advancement, as we say that. So the creation of technology advancement, okay, now handphones, look at the internet nowadays. It divided our world into, this is the chart which I kind of collected and stuff. It become two worlds, which is offline and online. A lot of people ask, will online take over offline and all those things? You know what? In a business management view, everything there, whenever there's views and there's audience, there's money for you. Okay, that's how the television or that's how the media sell these things to that. Okay, so you must acknowledge when you do management, you must acknowledge the market, you must acknowledge the industry direction. All right, so all the things, you can't just say I think. Okay, you have to go and see where's the direction, because we talk about management, right? So management, it is, are you in the right direction? Or are you moving with the world? So a lot of things we cannot go against. Okay, so as you can see this chart, okay, I'll pass the slides to you all later as well, so don't worry. Okay, so as you can see, the world have kind of go into two worlds, which is virtual and physical offline world. Okay, so a lot of all these things, strategy, as you can see, there's also divided into offline and online media, which is some is paid, some is owned, some is earned. Okay, so all these things is getting deeper and deeper. All right, this, whenever for management and stuff, you need to get visibilities. Whenever there's visibility, there's sales and you can sell something. So always know the depth and deepness and never let go of any, we don't know. Okay, during COVID, the sales on online platform rise, but now after COVID, people are sick of online. They are going offline, events is blooming. So whenever there is two different things where you need to think. Let's say one day you're selling something and stuff, you're doing pitching and all those things. So a lot of things you're going to think these two platforms and how you tally these two games. All right, can I have the next slide? Okay, again, you have to acknowledge the worldwide issue as well. Because I still remember when COVID-19 hit, I was in Spain doing my second master. Everyone told me that Asian stuff wouldn't hit the West or whatever. But nowadays, because of the borderless thing and because of a lot of advancement, the world issue is going to hit the economical world. So a lot of things, if the wave will always hit, because things are fast, traveling fast, So can I have the next slide? So when you put into all this segment and stuff, COVID-19 came and the war and all these things. Can I have the next slide? It created the current social issue, which is inflation, okay? So all these things, never ever before, it affected our economical costing, a lot of things. Of course, the first part you see, revolutionize of industry. But now you have to put in your problem statement, and which is your problem social issue, which is all the current social issue you have to acknowledge. Because going into management, into crafting your direction for your company, or even your own personal growth in the future, you have to be strategic and understand what sea of market you're going into. All right. So can I have the next slide? So can you see this slide? Can you see, this is like the recent inflation chart. Okay, Indonesia is quite in the bottom, so it's still okay, But can you see all these countries, they are facing tremendous inflation. Okay, so one side you have the advancement of technological mode and stuff, but the inflation which increased the everything, the costing and stuff, which one day is going to affect the return of investment, or it's going to affect your revenue, or even now we say that because of the inflation and all this thing, and also COVID and stuff, and plus the change of working mode. All right, can I have the next slide? All right, so traditionally everyone have to work in the office, and it's hard to have like online conferences, but remote working trend have been taking over by storm. All right, so there are 5 types of hybrid working models, okay, but it depends on the structure of the business you're creating later on. All right, so some things can go hybrid, some can't yet, but some as well, it can be different working models. All right, so it depends, all these things, you have to put all the factor issues and what's the trend. So then when you're creating a proposal, when you're creating your job scope, or you're creating your own, whatever you want to put in your multidisciplinary, we say that in your studies, on your research, that will be the question for you all to think, okay? So can I have the next slide? So again, all these factors, can you see like the world issue, the economical industry advancement with the war and everything, the economical is going to shift for the next phase, all right? So the rise of gig economy, I bet Indonesia as well, you guys experience a lot of people in Grab or in Gojek or whatever, the gig economy is growing, okay? Influencer marketing is growing, no longer like in Malaysia, 90% is influencer marketing already. In overseas as well, a lot of TV station and radio station have shut down. All right, and in our industry, social media have revolutionized everything. So I want you guys to think, a lot of all these things are happening. But again, there are some issue as well. Okay, for the gig economy, there are no threshold. Okay, so Malaysia, we're having currently a very serious problem here where all school leavers don't want to continue to study. They think that I can earn through gig economy because they don't need education and all this. But yesterday, I just came back from the ex-Prime Minister Foundation office. We have a huge argument within the panels and stuff, and we see data that the gig economy, smart people are going in. The gig economy, it will reinvent into an educated gig economy or high-impact gig economy. Because even influencer marketing, because my first research I was focusing a lot on in the KOL market, which is a key opinion leader market. But now we are forecasting it's going to be a key opinion educator market where you need influencer with education, with a direction and a professional occupation to guide all this market and all these things. So a lot of things are shifting, but you have to think another deeper sense where we all here, we are the future leader or a future forecaster or a future researcher. So you have to think 5 to 10 years, how you predict that things coming. So a lot of things, all these things, it keep you thinking. So a lot of times we researcher, we shouldn't just like, as mentioned, now it's multidisciplinary and everything. So all these things force us to think and reinvent, and also as to predict, okay? So a lot of things, you have to put in all this formula to see the next phase, what's happening. Of course, you have to have some insights from people and also go and interview and go and see it yourself sometimes. So a lot of things, All these things, we're tackling a lot of issues, social issue now, especially in Malaysia. So I mean, like, I think everywhere is the same thing happening and stuff. So a lot of times we're sharing insights, we're sharing a lot of global views. Also, we are sharing a lot of, how we tackle the market and stuff. Because I guess as a researcher, it's no longer just showing as data or statistics. What are your ratifying steps? What are your strategy? Okay, so can I have the next slide? Okay, so this gives a direction for the educational direction, all right? So, which just now I joined you all. I totally, because when I was reading and stuff, I know that you guys are, I love it when you say that it's multidisciplinary, because look at, 10 years ago, okay, or 20 years ago, everything is very specialized or independent discipline, all right? But this century, when you see just now everything broken down, and COVID really swiped everything away. Everything stuck from a new paper, and you need more skills per person. So why a lot of courses nowadays we're revamping, like I'm teaching music and business or music and technology. And I'm also teaching like maybe business outside and everything very different. But of course, all this multidisciplinary or interdisciplinary thing, can I have the next slide? There are advantage and disadvantage, okay? So advantages, of course, you are going to be very unique, and also you're going to discover a lot of things, and also it enables you all to create your own path. But the disadvantages, of course, some students might feel very lost, because sometimes they might think that, they are master of none, jack of all trade, okay? But no worries, there's always ways of solving the thing. But because multidisciplinary course in the international level, it is the direction already, because you need the whole package. You can't just surviving in just one skill or because it's very hard for us, one person, to tackle the current issue, which is even more than it used to be. So a lot of times there will be confusion. When you go in the first two phase, there will be a lot of confusion and you're going to feel very heavy because you're learning a lot of information. But the thing always, I say that because I've been through, this few years, I've been reinventing myself into music production and all this thing, because in Malaysia as well, not many people focusing on the art line. Too many, so you have to play your game well. And for me, my passion is in the art line industry, where I see that there are advancement and growth. That's why we went to a lot of hybrid courses. So a lot of time, the first phase, you guys are going to feel tired because too much things and stuff. But the second and third phase, once you know a lot, and I suggest that go and volunteer and do a lot of things. Don't just be academic by research. I always volunteer for student events, school events, and also industry events, okay? So don't limit yourself, okay? And keep on adding yourself. And I always think that, whatever you learned before, keep it and stuff. But the thing is, learn from each other, A lot of things, I guess that here we have like almost how many of us? Well, 388 or almost 400 today. I bet each of them here have certain skills and stuff, and try and maximize, enjoy as much conferences as possible. A lot of things, the study mode for student, the strategy for all the researcher is different from 10 years ago or 20 years ago. So it's okay to feel overwhelmed, macam rasa macam wah terlampau banyak, but you're going to digest it later, okay? Because I've been through, especially these 5 years, I come now and did a lot of the multidisciplinary course in overseas. I obviously, like a lot of students, we feedback a lot of things, but you're going to get it. It's just that the phases you're going through, it's okay, you feel lost, but you're going to get it back, and you're going to get it more compared to maybe last generation of students. All right. Okay. Can I have the next slide? So also, just now I was talking about the creation of, your own path. Okay. Having a lot of skills, it enables a lot of us become an entrepreneur or a very independent researcher or a creator in the market. But I have to show you about the market depth, okay? Look at this, right? Sometimes we were just discussing with a lot of CEO and all those things. 10 years ago, the market is like, you need a lot of ideas. So whatever ideas you come up, it works, all right? But nowadays, it's not just ideas, execution, and experience. So do not simply start up a startup without having a lot of learning experiences or testing first. I always say that in university and stuff, do your prototypes first. All right. Don't, each of us here, each of us, the best thing is you compete with yourself, with your yesterday self. Each of us here, we are helping each other. Our game is out there, not inside here. You get what I mean? So a lot of times, you have to change the mindset as a student as well. We're no longer just competing about the ranking or just ourselves. If you're good and stuff, you bring value to the thing. And also, if you're rushing to rush, a lot of debt trap nowadays. I saw a lot of entrepreneurs, 80% lost money because I know they have the tools, but the thing is, they don't know how deep the market is. So you guys have to rethink. Can I have the next slide? Because for every skill, this is the thing, this is the 10,000 hours rule is still apply, where you have to key in like 10,000 hour rules for every skill to become a mastery. All right. So a lot of times you have to plan your stages. You have so that you can take one step back or one step forward. You never go nowadays, you just rush into something because the sea is too deep. You have no idea how deep is the debt trap, how all these things, what's happening and stuff. So a lot of times university is the best way for you all to do a prototype before heading to the real world. But of course, the stages and stuff, step-by-step guidance towards that thing. Okay, so can I have the next slide? So a lot of times, like nowadays, like it's the hybrid mode working. All right. So I have a full-time job, but part-time I still have to do for the industry, entertainment industry. And also I have a lot of extra okay. So you always this working mode, when I was doing my music production in Berkeley, I saw all the Hollywood producer and the Latin Grammy producer. They are so smart. Monday to Friday they teach in university. Saturday, Sunday they fly back to Hollywood to produce for Oscar, for Grammys. And then during their break, during the summer term, they have no job and stuff, they tour with artists. So rethink your working model so that you get, since you have so much tools and all those things. So then when you have a hybrid work mode, actually you have to play smart with your time. Okay. So it's possible to do a lot of things nowadays and make use of your education background, make use of all the multidisciplinary thing you're going to learn, make use of the COVID as well, because COVID really shifted everything. So a lot of us need to do a few things to support one thing. Again, when you're doing a lot of things, these three things is going to be independent one day. And if you lose any part of it, you can always fall back to other things. So like that, it's much more, we say that secure. All right. Can I have the next slide? So because of all these things, I always encourage personal branding. It is a goal pot nowadays for everyone. Okay. Before even you grow a corporate branding or, or anything, you yourself must succeed first. You yourself must build your own brand first before you can convince people. 10 years ago, you're selling a product or whatever, it worked like that. But nowadays, we check who is the CEO, who is the leader, before even we go into the company, before even we know what to invest, or before even teaching as well, right? So you're going to choose your teacher, okay? We know that personal branding now, everyone in the workforce, that's the one going to find your own unique selling point, all right? And to build your own island, all right? Can I have the next slide? So again, that I always say that don't speed first, what's your direction, okay? Get your direction right, then you speed. Because it's very hard for you if you speed in the wrong direction, because I always say that, I'm born in the year of a cow, okay? I was, like I previously, I like to just speed and stuff, but I injured myself into a lot of walls, okay? But now since the sea is so deep, make sure is that the direction you want. Take some time to think first before you jump into the sea. If not, if you're swimming in the wrong way, you're wasting your energy, right? So the direction, it depends on your own personal brand, okay? So can I have the next slide? So branding is deep, all right? So, reinventing from the brand strategy and stuff, what's your own brand and how to build your brand? It comes from your own story, your own values, your own mission, and then your own background. Now, again, your own personality. Of course, this is just a bit, and then add on with your own experience, add on with your own educational background, add on with how many layering you have to build the best CV, the best sorted after kind of personal brand, regardless of anything, you will be sorted after. That's what I wanted to see. And again, that all these things, everyone is independent in themselves, especially, I guess a lot of people here are master or, doctorate and stuff. So each of you are contributing towards one theory or stuff. So a lot of us, we're coming, even we study the same thing, but because of different background, different mission, different industry we're stepping to, that will create all the differences. Okay. So, and also extra effort. All right. So a lot of times you have to go the extra miles nowadays. It used to be, yes, you work smart and all the things. Now, I guess you have to work hard and smart as well, because things are getting deeper and deeper. And, I always say that you kickstart now, you plant all the root now. It's like planting a tree or ecosystem. Now you spend more time to build the root. When the root is strong enough, you can grow big. You can grow exponentially as well. All right. So can I have the next slide? The best thing is, I always say that know your own brand value and your brand equity. All right. Brand value is what you invest in. All right. Brand equity is, what's things beyond monetary value, like your education, your experience, your volunteer. So that's why I was like, they want to see something beyond, just monetary value nowadays. Because nowadays, intellectual, we should invest in all the intellectual things so that intellectual generate us the money, So like that, it is a strong brand, especially with Industry 4.0, where, if low skill things or label, it is going to, things are going to change. A robotic things is taking over a lot of things, but you need to reinvent into very intelligent humans so that you guys can manage the robots or create the robots or create that game so that you are not trapped in the rat race. All right. So yeah. So Tohan, thank you. Nice quote. Direction is better than speed. Yeah, because we've been through a lot. I've been through local market, international market, so, and I've been through a lot of job scope and a lot of studies, so that's why today, like the experience I share, it's like based on like over 20 years of experiences, and also I'm still doing things and stuff because I want you all like not to repeat our mistake. A lot of things. Researcher good as academic is because we always share things. Okay, we don't want you all to repeat all these things. We hope that you do better than us. So that every generation do better than us. So we learn from each other. Okay, so always the direction. I always could say that. Just now also like Professor was saying like your integrity, all this thing. Although you can't measure by monetary value, but the thing is you're going to build a long-term culture, a long-term brand, which the money going to chase you rather you chase the money. You get what I mean? All right. Can I have the next slide? So this is the thing where I always, because I'm coaching a lot of master students now and stuff. So I under my belt, my student managed to win all the fellowship and awards. That's, the portfolio which I grow for them, which I won a lot of things before. Academic profile, definitely you need that. Research skill, technological skill is a must. Okay, presentation skill, pitching and negotiation skill, that one is a must, and also presentation slide. So of course you have to also put on some working experience, your story growth, competition, audition, whatever it is, or so that you build up the story. Failure or whatever, it is part of your personal growth brand. And then, or your own new portfolio, your experiment, extra talent, language, or extra skill. So like that, you can aim for position, award, scholarship, or monetary, or recognition, which is going to roll by itself. Okay, so a lot of things, it's just whatever you see is just tip of the iceberg. A lot of things is still up to you guys. So a lot of times, a lot of things we know that it's going to be deeper than just academic. Okay, so a lot of times university we are reinventing as well. So a lot of things we are doing, we hope that industry and academic, there's no more gaps. So like that, it's going to create something which is very different, which we need that. But because of that, we need to do more work as well. But once we get these things and stuff, we need to win a lot of international game. Especially nowadays, the market, honestly, it's like every country should be independent. Okay, so can I have the next slide? So of course, this comfort zone thing where, I always say that, I've been like discovering, especially, looking at a lot of student profile and stuff, because it used to be, you are just academic wise and stuff. So that's why a lot of them, they just want to choose subjects that they are good in. So they're always in their comfort zone. But of course, always I tell my student or me myself, I always wanted to learn something which is out of my comfort zone. Because you know why? As we mentioned, the game is out there when you step in the industry, or when you go out there and stuff. So always, whenever you go from a comfort zone, you have to go into the fear zone. But because we are tackling into something which you don't understand, maybe today you have a lot of people from diverse background, you try to go management, and all those things, but you're going to feel, of course, the fear is you're going to feel very, very scared, and you might feel lost. But the thing is that adding on the learning zone, you have to put on the effort, you have to keep pushing. Don't care. You just keep going, then you only can see growth. Because a lot of people will always stay in the comfort or the fear zone, they're going to lose themselves. Or they're going to take whatever they're good in, back then when I remember my journey was, when I was young, I was from a Chinese school. So Sekolah Bahasa Mandarin, okay? So in Malaysia, we have a lot of different languages of school. Because I know it's in Malaysia, I am Chinese, I have to learn Melayu, which is Bahasa Indonesia, or, so I volunteer myself to go into the Malay school. So for my first semester, I almost failed all my exams. But I went and learned, I do extra classes and stuff. End of the year, I was the top 10 in my school, Again, same. I remember I was in the pure science stream, where in Malaysia, I did biology, chemistry, physics, and I got into a chemical engineering course for my A-levels. But the thing is, I know I want the entertainment line. So I was doing chemical engineering in the morning, and night I was doing musical course. But then when I go into deeper on degree, I felt that I need something different, So I went into law. Again, the first year, I was like almost failed. But the thing, I worked harder than anyone in the university. Again, I was the top again, So I always say that, I volunteer back then. I already volunteered myself to experiment and stuff. Fear zone always, but don't look down on yourself. Those who stay in the comfort zone until today, I would tell you that all my first class students or my first class friends, never ever of them want to take PhD, because everyone just want perfect scoring. But a master student and a PhD student, we are breaking away and we're creating things. So it's okay to have a fall, or it's okay to lose yourself to build something new. So a lot of things is not judged by marks anymore, especially you guys going to management and stuff. It's judged by a lot of other factors, So really, I respect people who really challenge yourself, because once you challenge now, later on your portfolio is going to be amazing. Your unique selling point, we call it USP, it's going to be unique. You are maybe the only one in the industry, then people is going to choose you. But you're going to play comfort zone. You're going to play the game of just the marks. I just want, to score like full flat or just that. I don't think, for a researcher, you always think, do you want to be an innovator, a creator, or just a follower, So always think, but be a creator and stuff is not easy. You have to go through the fear and the burning zone. Then only you see the growth, all right? So I always say that now, if you even stay in the comfort zone, you will be wiped off. You will stuck in the game of there's pools of talent doing the same thing. Okay, so multidisciplinary course, it is a thing for you to think out of the box. So once you have all these tools, of course, the next slide, I want you to think global. Okay, local thing, definitely you guys will be pro in your thing. Think global, because digital 4.0 industry, it's going to head over globalization. Okay, so can I have the next slide? To think global, of course, you have to know your local first, right? So today I'm giving this talk because Prof know me that I a lot of times I was like, if I can't convince my own country, how am I going to convince the whole global side? Okay, of course there are some local things which is hard to convince due to a lot of culture, a lot of social problem and stuff. But again, you have to sort of tackle that market or know it first. Okay, but of course the direction is to go global so that you can checkmate the end game. Okay, so next slide. So internationalization and localization, okay? Internationalization is very suitable for definitely postgraduate students and also, high level, high impact thing, okay? But of course, the game is tough. The sea is even deeper, okay? So a lot of times, internationalization require a lot of speed, a lot of things out of the box, a lot of things which go against the traditional side, okay? Localization, of course, a lot of things into culture, into a lot of things where, a lot of products and stuff, you will know it and stuff. Of course, that's have it best of the both world, all right? Because the next slide, the sweet spots, I always say, okay? If you go too internationalized, you forgot about localization and stuff, that will create a lot of gaps and a lot of problem in the future as well. So can I have the next slide? So, back then, right, we have the red ocean strategy and the blue ocean strategy. You know what? Currently, we have this purple goldfish strategy, which is intersect of the best of these two worlds, okay? So, previous years, the red ocean strategy where, you compete in the red zone, existing market, all this thing. Whereas the blue ocean, you create your own market and stuff. But purple goldfish strategy is you get best of this both worlds, okay? So always remember, compete in the existing market, but stand out your values, stand up your own preferences, stand up your story, stand up your own portfolio, stand up in yourself, differentiate yourself from the market, okay? So that you have the connection, but you are not too detached as well, okay? Because building our own island and stuff is tough, okay? So always exploit the current customer base to, to get and then drive your loyalty and promote word of mouth. That's always the most fundamental thing for growing branding, okay? So of course, you have to break the transactional market economy mindset and add value, okay? Add value, what value and stuff you have to keep adding and stuff so that you are special and ahead of a lot of things, okay? So always think, everything that is a sweet spot, okay? You get the best of all worlds, but where's the intersect of everything? Especially in current market now, this strategy and all these things, be strategic, okay? Do not ignore, know everything, but be strategic and choose wisely or combine wisely, okay? Next slide. So this is the sweet spots. You have to maintain the local market so that, you can sell the views or whatever into the international market. The international, you also can bring things into your local market. It must be intersect, okay? So that you are bringing value into both things. Because nowadays, I keep telling people, you have to ask yourself, what can you give in the local market or what can you go to international market? If you can't answer that, take a step back and learn first. Do not think that international market is so what do you call that, easy nowadays. For your information, when I was in Berkeley, like this few years, in the art line, everyone have double masters or multi-instrumentalists. Can you imagine our artistic world have been so, what do you call that? It's very competitive nowadays in overseas. So international side or even the local side, we are seeing people with very diverse mixture of educational background and diverse mixture of talent that will win the game. Those are the ones who win all the fellowship or all the, we say all the award or all the, sales or everything, So always think, tonight I always say that, whatever I share, I hope that it makes you all thinking, because I still have to fly back Spain. I still have to fly Taiwan and China, because we're doing a lot of media projects and stuff for the future thing. And, I'm not just in the music industry. So I'm going beyond other things in overseas as well, because we see that all these things are growing, but local market, I come back for things as well. So always be smart and strategic, okay? In business sense, whenever there's audience, there's visibility, there's economy, there's stuff for you to sell, okay? So can I have the next slide? Again, the power of diversity. I always say that I love to include different diverse people in my team, because I still remember I won the fellowship in Berkeley when I involved my team with what do you call that, student from every different countries, from Asia, from the Latin, from US and stuff. We won the whole project, because the power of diversity is because each of us, we are bringing not just the cultural education, but also the story, a lot of things, and we can teach each other as well as we go through the projects. Of course, it's going to be tough, But the thing is, educational make it possible nowadays. All right. Can I have the next slide? So always, diversity is something where we can unite beyond borders, beyond barriers, so that we make things happen. Stuff like that. The power of diversity, the color of it, is going to make your project, even the same formula, to be different, because you have different people inside and different diverse background, different advices you have. It's going to be very, very interesting. That's why I always insist that to see every team to have different colors or different people from different nation. So like that, each of us is going to catch each other. Each of us is going to save each other. And each of us is going to do our own homework because we're bringing diverse background information. Okay. So can I have the next slide? So again, always nowadays, give room of failure and improvement. Nowadays, it's no longer, it used to be like 10, 20 years ago, whatever you do can be successful. Always now, each of us, especially after COVID, a lot of us are starting from failure, or even are starting from negative debts, or even starting from student loans. It's still considered negative. So, or, a lot of things, when you step in the market, there will be a lot of rejection, regardless who you are. Okay, so always give a buffering time. Okay, because it's not a perfect world out there. It's not a perfect world in the academic research as well. I always say that do always like that so that you are not rushing. Okay, because if you're rushing something, the thing I scared that will give you extra mental health stress. Okay, so can I have the next slide? So always remember the steps are very easy, and I mean, like it's easy to say, but of course hard to do. The basic, everyone must know, definitely. But then you have to extend the capabilities after you bring your ground. Then you have to maximize it. You have to speed. Okay. So always remember, whatever it is, you have to go step by step. If anything happens, take a step back. If anything happens, go straight. So that you don't burn everything yourself. Okay. So you have to be strategized, hybrid mode, and do not be too naive or too positive. We say that, think the worst scenario so that you can stand by. All right. So it's good to be positive, but we have to be realistic. Okay. It's not good. We are not like those motivational guru with no all this research background or experience. Reality kicks in. Okay. So always fail in the small scale so you learn. If things grow too fast, I'm scared as well, because things will collapse. You don't know what's happening. So always give room of failure and stuff so you can analyze it and you can see the truth. All right. So can I have the next slide? I always call this, the crawl, walk, run, fly system. Okay. No matter what, when you crawl that time, there's no sort of system and all these things, but that's based on guts and feeling and stuff. But then when you crawl, you have to walk, you have to collect data, you have to collect experience, you have to collect, your mistakes or whatever, everything is result. Failure or a success is still a result. It's better than you never try. Okay. Then when you have a system, when you build a multiple system, when you know your formula, then you can slowly run. Then when you're familiarized, only you fly. Okay. So I always say that regardless of anything, each of you all, either one day you want to be a researcher plus an industry player, your work will be hybrid. Like me, I'm a researcher plus industry player plus a lecturer now and a celebrity. So nothing is impossible. But of course, you cannot just say that aku nak buat begitu saja, aku tak nak. No. Every time there is a KPI, key performance index, to achieve certain things. There's no such thing that I just want to do that without learning things, without improving yourself. Okay. Always set yourself something else to take in and stuff, so that one day when you achieve that, you're hard to be replaced. So all these things keep your thinking. Okay. What is more than that? Or even in classroom yourself, what else? Keep your mind thinking, and then keep challenging yourself to take in new roles. Okay. Do not just, I'm comfortable, I'm going to sit here and stuff. No, that it's 360 nowadays already. If you don't move, the wave is going to move you. The wave is going to suck you away. Okay. So as a researcher going to postgraduate as well, give room for failure. Okay. Because you want true results. Okay. You don't want fake results. Okay. Integrity is a lot of things, and then a lot of times, don't compare yourself to, your colleague or your students and stuff, because every one of us here, we are going to have different results even when we're doing the same thing, because you guys are going to write a lot of different things, all right? So the game is always outside to help the people and all these things. And what value can you bring? Nowadays, I keep asking, don't come and just say that you want to earn the money. Don't come that you want to tackle the market. What value you? If you're going to conquer other market, people are going to conquer you back. But if you're going to bring a value to the market, people are going to bring value to you as well. So depend on what you plant. Your mindset must change. Your thing must think out of the box, and as well as keep challenging yourself whenever you can now. Okay, and especially after COVID, everything is swept away. There's no, a lot of things you have to test and error and give time to buffer. Okay, so I always say that be realistic and keep thinking, and do not give up your dream as well. Okay, can I have the next slide? So all these things, this, I like this ladder, education is of course always the base for me. I was like, nowadays, especially industry 4.0. Remember, regardless, one day if you fail in your business or you fail in outside, you always have education to back you up. Okay, you always have that. Okay, because that is the, I always believe, the best investment. Okay, and motivation, keep learning, hard work. But of course, education is not just everything. You have to go through challenges. You have to have a lot of leadership, ownership, ethics, a lot of things. The layer is deep, to build a true branding, and then only, the things is going to work, coming into this industry 4.0 or 5.0, So can I have the next slide? So again, attitude is everything. Okay, so as a researcher, attitude, think out of the box, and we do not need to be traditional. Who says that beauty queen can't be a professor? Break the stigma. Okay, whoever be the first to break the stigma, you're going to win the trophy, and we're going to break the record. Okay, so attitude. We might do more than people. We might not see the result first, but the things are going to flood it in later on. All right, next slide. So I always say that it's okay to fail. Okay, it's not okay to give up your dreams. I always say that, it's going to be painful, but it's like going into the gym or, jogging and stuff. Nothing is easy, I would say. But of course, don't crack yourself until you can't, you feel too pain to not to come back. As well, I told you, a lot of things must be realistic, we must be honest, all those things, so that we can help each other. Not just, I compare you and so that's just very like a traditional way of doing things. Nowadays is very, very different. And of course, give room of failure so that you learn. The best skill now is how you stand up from failure. Okay, so the next slide. I love this diagram. Back in, a lot of people will go to the main street or go to road less travel. You know what? Nowadays, because of COVID and stuff, you might build your own from nothing, from scratch. Go for it if you think you can and stuff. Of course, keep learning and keep adding on things. Go and creating new pathways to change the industry or to help the industry and to cater to your generation or to cater a better future for all of us. So I always hope that one day I hope that to see you all go beyond just academic, bridge more gaps. And again, that solve more problems. But again, don't lose yourself. Okay, enjoy the journey. It's going to be a very fruitful one, but go for the hardcore training, always know your direction. Okay, so don't be overwhelmed and stuff. Whenever you felt it's lost, take a step back, take a break, look at the direction, jump back in again. Okay, so that's all for me. So I'm opening up for a Q&A session. Yeah, so if there's any question, just throw it to me and stuff. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that was a very, very interesting talk, and a lot of nice and wise word actually. I think everyone picked a couple of interesting and useful wisdom from your talk. Indeed, from my own perspective, I think you have mentioned really a very, very fundamental things of education. Like, for example, you mentioned that education is not about ranking and do not rush.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, currently, we are a little bit away from that.
I know. Yeah.
It's actually sad to say about that.
Yeah. We're trying to change because
hopefully.
Yeah, the traditional, because when I'm serving the university, I can see as well. The traditional, like they are pushing us, but the thing is like we are trying, to balance it. We will say that, so a lot of us like we try to hit that thing, but I always believe in the talent. If the talent is happy, it's going to grow. If you're aiming for just a ranking and stuff, it's not going to work. And
not going to work.
People will do stupid things to do for ranking or rating, right?
Yeah.
So I always believe in going deeper, the mental health, the growth of talent, the satisfaction, the integrity. So that's the thing where it's sustainable because we want it to be long term. I see like other universities, they just aim for ranking. At the end, they burn out. I told them, I was like, you burn out. And I heard I share you some of the private university, because of ranking, they fake a lot of things. And now students are suing them.
Yeah.
Because I was like, that's why I was like, I chose a public university because you can't lie. Some private is like, everything is fake. I was like, even the student can sue them back. Of course, not every private one, but we know that, this is the reality. That's why we are very honest with that.
Yeah, true. Yeah, thank you very much. That was really nice. And I think there are a lot of interest from the students as well. A lot of hand raised, I see.
Yeah, I saw so many hand raised. Wow, that's amazing, man.
Right. So let's start with the first one that I see on the left side of my. That is disappeared. Nimas Alfiana. You would like.
Okay, thank you, Profesor Nyoman, and hello, Dr. Soo Wincci.
Hi, apa kabar?
Baik. Okay, you said that direction is more important than speed, but we are live in the fast world. Everything's happen so fast, and so what do you think? How can we control ourselves while we just thinking our direction so that we are not take time too long on there? So when we are done with our direction, with our decision of direction, we are not just what kind of word is this? Like,
I get what you mean. That's why
what do you think?
Okay, I always think that, the best of all worlds is, of course, we're going to sacrifice a lot of sleep time. Like me, honestly, my schedule is very, very, very packed because, what I do is, I do what they want also, okay? But my me time, I do what I want. But of course, I have no time to hang out with my friends already. Because sometimes I was like, I bet that, we want to be exceptional. And if we want to prove that this formula and stuff, I would honestly, when I was in Berkeley and stuff, especially Asian students and stuff, we work almost 16 hours per day because we have no choice. And, at the end, I'm only 2 Asian students won the fellowship. Can you imagine? And now I'm the last standing in Spain. None Asian there anymore to do PhD, a second one. So can you imagine, of course, especially us coming from, like, we are colonized before, not first world country. We have to do 3 or 4 times the effort compared to them. I was arguing with the US student, I was arguing with the UK student. I was like, you guys are so lucky. Aku buat banyak benda, only I see it. But the thing is, aku sentiasa cakap, kita rugi dulu, tak apa. I don't call this rugi. I call this to train us. We get the extra hours. We're gonna checkmate later on. You get what I mean? So I always say that do what they want, do what you want, do what the market want. One day, whatever it is, you're gonna get the intersect. You get what I mean? Of course, if like we only concern of ourselves, we are not sure yet, is this the right direction? Right? So I always say that it's okay to go to do what they want slowly. When you prove it to them already, then you slowly incorporate your ideas. Because kita kena pandai-pandai. It's just like, right, when we're convincing our parents, okay, like my parents, like in Asia, they always say that, pergi kahwin je, jangan belajar sampai apa. Kau cakap tak belajar, tapi even kahwin tak semestinya bahagia kan? Tak sama dengan dulu kan? So I say that, okay, no, I will do what you want, what subject you want first, then I do what I want later on. So that's why I see a lot of people maybe doing double master, double what, or, maybe, it's a different job scope change in the future. So a lot of times I say that give yourself a room of buffering. So a lot of times, kenapa zaman ini semua kahwin lewat ataupun semua apa sebab it's like we do what the market want because the market is flowing that way, but we need to pull back what we want because one day that you must lead it. So of course, like when we are young, we do what the market want, we do what the company want, but you must come to a point to know which phase to go. You get what I mean? So you maybe 80% you do what you want now, 20%, then slowly the percentage is going to change. But if you just do what you want now and stuff, it's unrealistic, right? Because we don't know how deep the market is. So it's the same. When I come in the university, I buat apa yang dia nak. I buat dulu, I hit all the target dulu. Then they're going to listen to me, right? So I always think that you have to know how to get back your value. But of course, it's going to go in stages. That's why I say that you're going to lose yourself first, but remember yourself. Later on, you're going to pull it back. So I always say that you're going to invest that part first. Okay, so no worries. All of us are in the same phase. I was like, there's no shortcut to anything. So we will go through that part, but it's going to take us longer, but we're going to go further. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I think we always try to be natural, right?
Yeah, we try to be neutral, or we try to get the best of all worlds.
Right.
I always say that nowadays, don't make enemies, but be careful where you want to go, right? I always say in business, everyone is friends, but you must know where you want to go as well, okay? If you're lost and stuff, take a step back and stuff, okay? Don't keep it too personal, be constructive, be professional, kan? Kita kena pandai-pandai. I always say that we must be very smart, okay? Don't make enemies or, don't whatever, but the thing is, step by step, okay? Because if you just go like that, it's going to ruin a lot of things, and you don't know, how deep it is. Okay, yeah.
Okay, thank you for that.
Thank you.
That was interesting. All right, I'll give the second chance to Helmi.
Okay, thank you, Pak Prof. Nyoman. Hello, Dr. Soo Wincci.
Hi, Helmi.
Yeah, this is a very good sharing. I'm interested about the purple goldfish strategy.
Right. I was like, actually, do you know that I really discovered during COVID. I was like, hey, this is right. I was like, I've been questioning, because I read about blue ocean strategy and all this. I was like, there's something missing. I was like, there's something missing, because it's unrealistic. Okay. So when I discovered this, I was like, I keep sharing to people. I said, read about this. I was like, it worked. So smart, right? The strategy. I was like,
that's very smart.
Go and research about this. There are being journals writing about this already. So go and go to www.researchgate and register. And there's so many different things, new things popping up there for journals and free. So it's www.researchgate. The European always go into that thing, and everything's in English. So research and stuff and register is all free for all. What do you call that? Use your university account. Inside there, right? It's so fast. I was like, wow, so inventive.
So this is new things, right?
Very new. I was like, I told them, like, whatever you can't find in Google Scholar is all in ResearchGate.
Okay.
www.researchgate.
Because my experience is maybe 10 years in oil and gas. You know that oil and gas is a red ocean strategy, right?
Yes, I know that.
And the future is the blue ocean, like renewable energy and
come
such
on,
thing, right?
now already have this.
But we think the purple. What do you think about the purple strategy when you are in this industry? Yeah.
Honestly, because I have a lot of friends from the oil and gas industry and all those things, it is for us to rethink, because as for your information, because my friend also, I'm coaching her, she also shared with me that oil and gas in Malaysia, so we had to reinvent already. So of course the oil and stuff is going to be existing, but you have to think about other market. So they are playing this strategy as well now in the oil and gas industry. So sharing with you that some of the petrol stations are reinventing themselves into macam kedai runcit or all in one thing. They are very smart. So they think they still have pumping oil, but they want to do laundry, they want to do everything. So now they're hiring all my professor friends to reinvent for them already. So think about that. Though, you know, oil and gas as well, there's so many things for you to go into to be an all-in-one station. You get what I mean? Yeah, so I was like, think out of the box, you know, in Malaysia, we are facing that problem already. So my friend from oil and gas, I showed them this strategy also. So like, they were like, they are really venturing to other business. So that, you know, even in petrol pump station, because during COVID, you know, oil money dropped, right, at that time. So a lot of people went bankruptcy and stuff. Never ever imagined that oil and gas, right? You see a petrol station in Malaysia can shut down. You know, 20 years ago, we say that oil and gas, you know, always the money making thing, right? So that's why you heard about Petronas and Shell and all this, right? So their company set up teams. My friend is inside there. So they told them that within 10 years, they want different things, but they are still selling oil. So think about that. So that's the idea for your country already, you know, because only you guys can do it. You know, think about that. Be the first. Because like we are from like technical background and all this, but in business is always about getting the audience and sales.
Nice idea. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we're starting here already.
Yeah, thank you, Pak Nyoman.
Yeah. Okay. Next, Mbak Dinda. Are you a new student? Can you introduce yourself to us, from which concentration?
First of all, thank you so much, Professor Newman, for the chance, and Dr. Soo Wincci for today's material. I'm Dinda Morisa from Supply Chain Management, first semester. It is such an honor to receive the material from a bright, powerful, brilliant woman like you. Yes. And my question is, well, you said it before that we compete with ourselves, like do not compare ourselves with anyone, our college. But my question is, what would you say to women out there who are pursuing their dream, their career, and the field that most women are not going that way?
Okay. I think, you know, because of the gender equality and because of the traditional market and all these things, we women, we are people who, you know, because of the environment, definitely we are belittled, and we felt that, you know, like nobody's supporting, or we might be the first who go the thing. So I always say that, you know, this generation, all the women who step up the game are the courage one to set a base so that the next generation won't feel this thing anymore. Of course, women as well, we might do double the effort and stuff to convince the male that we can do it, you know, but we have no choices, because, and also of course, a lot of times I say that, you know, we have to focus, because if you're just, if you fall into the competing game, you are going to lose yourself, one thing. And again, that gender are created, we are here to complete each other, not to compete. We must acknowledge that guys sometimes is good in something, girls is not. So sometimes nowadays we exchange skills, and just like learning digital skill and tech skill. I really analyze a bunch of girl student and guy student. You know, the guys so fast. So the girls like felt like, oh my God, you know, even the same class, kenapa aku ni lambat ni? I was telling them, hang on, trust me, don't look, focus. At the end of the exam and the class, the girls went so far. The guys was quite scared already. That's why I was like, you know, I always tell the guys, the growth for guy and girl are different, because I go through it. My first semester for my tech skill was so bad, but the second one I score so high. But the guy is sometimes opposite, or sometimes they maintain. So I was like, focus, or go and learn from them, but focus first. You know, I always say that you don't know yet. You know, we might start as a tortoise, but we might end up as a rabbit, or you might start as a rabbit and you slept and you didn't even finish it. You know, so do not underestimate the game. And then nowadays, the challenge is all the things. This will be part of the challenge, because we must learn a lot of tech skill and stuff. So it's okay to learn from them. You know, it's okay to reference, but it's not okay to compare, or, you know, because you have no idea, especially us postgraduate, we are all coming from a diverse background. And you're serving, next time when you go into the industry, you're serving different clients. There's nothing to compare. So I was thinking like, you know, that's why university, we are here to exchange information so that you are serving the industry, you know? So you can't compare all these things, and you still need things to go advance and practice and years of trainings and stuff. So do not feel overwhelmed, you know? If you, starting also you start comparing, this now it's just in the river. What if you are swimming in the sea? So I always say that focus, focus, focus. And girls, give time. Guys, please also, you know, focus and finish the game. I always say that, you know, a lot of things, you know, the comparison, it of course now you want to bridge the gender equality, but when you put two things into one thing similar, you have two different outcomes because we are different breed. You know, guy and girl, there are still some differences, you know. So, but the thing is, at the end of the end result is very, very different as well. It still depends on your determination. So it's how the mind and the brain and all the physical things works, but you must give room to adjust that. That's why I was like, no, first semester doesn't mean anything. I saw like first semester, all those very like smart ones, at the end they fail because they fail in experiment. They fail in a lot of things, other things. But those underdogs are the ones who are winning a lot of things, you know. So just focus back, okay? But of course, buck up the effort. No choice. Buck up the efforts, okay? So I always say that, you know, it's always the efforts which makes you the difference, you know? The first result and stuff, it doesn't mean anything. It's still at the end, your thesis, your result, your invention, your innovation, okay? Nobody's going to look at the marks later. You go out, people are going to look how you present, right? I can score like full marks, but I can't even talk. Do you know I interview China students, there's so many of them give me fake results, or they can score, they can't even speak English, or they can't even present their slides. So we question a lot of things. Of course, like marks is one of the measurement, I think, but there are a lot of other measurements. So please, you know, just try and train a different perspective.
Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank you.
It means a lot.
Yeah,
Right.
keep going, okay?
Okay. Thank you, Linda. Yeah, my students usually, female students sit in the front line, but male students try to try the front line. So
right.
The back rows.
Yeah, because it's proven some subject go really fast. Some subject the guys fast. So
yeah.
Do not be ashamed. You know, even like when I was in law, there's only 8 guys, I remember. All girls. Girls was doing so well in law. But at the end, the guys also was doing good. Because those are not shy, they can do well. So don't be shy. Okay, don't feel odd. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next one. Erwin.
Hi, Erwin.
Erwin. Or otherwise we can.
Oh, sorry.
Hi.
All right.
Yeah, thanks, Pak Nyoman, and thanks Soo Wincci for the sharing. I would like to continue the discussion from the first question. If you don't mind, and if you don't mind, again, I will argue the opinion about the direction is better than speed. I think, in my opinion, direction and speed, they are very important, or they are a good combination, especially for us to compete in the business point of view.
Yeah, of course.
If you are talking about the business process, sometimes we forget when we are in the planning, we are very heavy in the planning, and then we're losing time.
Yes.
And on the execution itself, we are also late. At the end of the day, if you are talking about the business, we don't make money.
Yeah.
It will be different probably if you are talking about the education business or maybe like a social business. So I would like to change the quote with direction and speed are good spouse.
I would like to argue. I would like to argue back. My thing is make your direction first, only you add on speed. Because I do other business as well. So I totally understand. Educational one is even heavier. But the thing is, my point of view is because, let me share with you. I have a few business where sales was thriving every month and stuff. I decided to shut it down. You know why? Corruption happens. The direction happens. It's leaking money. They are good, but the direction is so bad. You know, so this is my experience where I really went into a few businesses where I really see sales, but I had to shut it down because they're not to say not good. It's a very wrong direction. Or they are doing business which is against a lot of things where they are trying to kind of like attack in some ways where it's going to injure them later on. The cost of damage will be huge. So direction is definitely that one. Speed, you have to have it. So my point of view just now was like, the direction, make sure your direction is right, you add on the speed. Because a lot of them, you speed first and stuff. 10 years ago, you can speed anywhere because the market is still new and all these things. But the thing is, as mentioned as well, do not spend too much time until that you kind of like that thing. It's the balance. But the thing is, a lot of them, like us, when I speak, I see sales, I shut down, I need to reinvent 5 years. The time cost, you haven't measured the time cost yet.
Yeah.
So you get what I mean, right? Because it's just like this, you know, like recently our prime minister just being jailed. Do you know within his time, he was making a lot of money, but corruption is leaking. Are you sure that your direction of your team is right? So
Yeah.
the cost, you know, this is in-depth question where it's true, that thing where I learned it because I was like a cow. I was rushing like a speed like that. I make sales. But behind, I was leaking money everywhere. I don't know. So I saw HR, I saw there's corruption. I saw that, you know, the thing, you know, a lot of things. So it's the balance of both, but the direction of your teammate and yourself and the direction of the market. You get what I mean? It's just like, yeah. So I was like, speed must have, but
of course, control must be put in the system for both.
Yes, for both things. But it's just like this, you know. It's just like, you know, when you're doing, let's say you are practicing a pieces or, you know, doing things. When the direction is wrong, you add on speed, it's going to be even wrong.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why a lot of times that direction is because a lot of youngster and stuff, they want fast money, they go and speed. So here we have a lot of scheme cepat kaya semua. They earn a lot of money, but they are being sued later on.
Yeah.
The lawsuit, you haven't seen so bad because I did law as well. So I was like, please direction, because the penalty now is very crazy. So it used to be not so crazy. So the business was thriving. Now are facing a lot of lawsuit for your information, and they lost the whole business. So for your information, that's the battle of the real world now. So I believe that you cannot take too long, but you have to think about the right direction, not just the business, your teammates, because it's revolving about, you know, and also your leadership also. So think deeper on that, because sales and stuff, we got it in before, but the direction of the whole thing is not the direction, just the business, your direction of your people. That the cost of damage is damn bad. I'm not worrying about the business, like the people, and you have to test them. It doesn't mean that, you know, it's going to be very scary, a lot of things later on the next phases, because there's a lot of power struggle. There's a lot of queries nowadays, a lot of business who make sales, who speed like mad, they are taking slower now because whatever they earn this few years, they are losing more now because they are now they know that the direction is all wrong. So that's why I was like, speed you must have when you retune back the right direction and new direction, yeah, because it's a new world. So for your information, let me tell you one thing where I just have a thing where a media company, when they listen to the youth and they reinvent the team, the sales went thriving 55%, even better than before. So I was just thinking, you know, it's not, I'm not saying that you don't speed, you speed, but make a new direction because it's a new world now. So we have to rethink. The old ones are dying the game because yes, it used to be that it's too long on the management and stuff. But the thing is, once the direction is done, you add on the speed. You have to add on the speed. That's why just now the last slide, you know, the crawl, walk, fly, you have to fly. If you don't get the speed, you are out of the game also. But the thing is, are you sure it's the right direction? That's my question. It's not just the business, yeah, your team.
Yeah.
And then the whole thing, that's the thing where the deep issue lies on. Yeah.
Yeah, I still have one question,
Yeah.
Prof. Nyo. This is about
a quick one, okay?
hybrid work. It's interesting me about the full-time extra and part-time.
Yes.
Highlight, and it's nice to have that condition. And what do you think, or what are you suggesting for people who are working in a company with a culture who limiting the capability of the employees? They have a very strict direction. As an employee, you're not allowed to work in another party. You have to win.
Okay, because
anyway.
I totally understand that, but of course we can't change their mind and all these things, and it's very ridiculous to just quit the company and stuff. But a lot of all these things, that's why I say that grow something not of the conflict interest of the company. That's why we're learning a lot of different skills. For instance, Monday to Friday here I teach music and all those things, but Saturday, Sunday I'm doing film and drama stuff. It's still revolving about the same industry, and the extra work I'm doing a lot of business consultancy. You faham tak? Macam kau kena pandai-pandai main catur. Because people are going to limit you, but you must have extra catur and extra things for you to go and see other market, so that there's no conflict of interest. Like, I'm not going to teach music outside because I already have a full-time music here, right? But they can't stop me from, that's why I'm taking double or triple master because of that also. So they can't argue. So that's why I say that kita kena pandai-pandai, especially I know Asian culture, trust me, dia cakap je tapi dia tak buka lagi. Aku faham. So I won't do that. So I be smart. I was like, here I do this. There I sell you other things. For instance, I remember why, for instance, for your information in Malaysia, let's say, you go this station TV, you cannot go this station TV. You go this radio station, you cannot go this. So what I do is, okay, this station, aku bagi you rancangan masak. This station, aku bagi you music saya. Station ini, aku bagi you drama. This station, aku bagi film. Fair. But it's just that you have a lot of work. You faham, right? So play it wisely. It's going to be very tiring, but the thing is, one, you're going to create a very exceptional story as well. That's why in Malaysia, you see me running everywhere. You see me speaking of a lot of languages. That's why I encourage you to take on extra skill, extra languages, extra hobby. One day your hobby is going to be your passion, right? Let's say your full-time job want to eliminate you. You have something to fall back. You must protect your own thing as well. You know that industry is very political as well nowadays, right? You know now out there it's all these things, a lot of things will happen. So in order to change their mind, we have to do a lot of extra effort. So that's how we tackle the Asian market. In overseas, yes, they encourage you to do all things because they understand. But Asian, play your game wisely. Have more so they can't question you. You know, I see, some of my lecturers here, they're so smart. Monday to Friday, teacher. Sometimes I see them also, they do Grab, they do like Gojek and all these things. So I was like, very smart, very smart. I was like, but they never affect their prestasi mereka kat sekolah or prestasi mereka kat business. You know, when I was in TV station and when I was doing the business, I guarantee the sales before I leave for education. I cannot leave for education if I don't get into sales, So you always set a KPI so that they cannot question it. You hit the thing, but you had to plan something new already, and that's your thing, that's your baby, So a lot of my friends are doing that way already because I know that we can't change the traditional mode, but you have to be strategic already. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Thank you. Terima
Thank
kasih.
you. Yeah, we are running out of time, but would you mind to pick one more?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Application from Daisy.
Yes.
Daisy, introduce yourself first, too.
Thank you, Professor Newman. Hello, Miss. Hi, Mrs. Soo.
Hi.
Nice to meet you. My name is Daisy. I'm from Bogor, Indonesia, and I'm from Techno Marketing.
Wow.
This is a new for me. I'm back from school after like 10 years maybe.
Wow, that's amazing.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you about how if you are in a rigid industry. I mean, like I am now in aviation, which is like we always follow the rules.
Yeah.
We get a very clear direction, which is most of them is more about safety. How do you bring creativity on it?
Okay, I guess that for aviation you must bring innovation, because since it's a rigid thing, because sometimes creativity cannot work in a serious thing, because aviation, you're talking about flying life of people. So like healthcare, you cannot think about creativity, but you can think of innovation. How can you innovate the ways to reduce cost? Because aviation, I know there's leakage of, because we deal with airlines also. I know that there's leakage of money in a lot of things. But how can you help them to minimize that with innovation of ways of doing things? So like us in the production line, it's very rigid, especially technological line. So we must know the system. It's stupid to say that I bring in creativity and everything, we break the supply chain and it affects lives, it affects the whole thing where the cost of damage is too huge. But innovative is to re-innovate ways of doing things so that you minimize the leakage. There's a lot of research about aviation of minimizing innovation of it. So meaning it's not inventing. Inventing is inventing something from zero. But now you are just putting different things into a new ways so that to minimize the cost or to speed up the process. You know, so that's why I was like, sometimes you have to how to speed up the thing so that the cost of damage is thing. That's why I said it depends on the industry. You see, studying one thing and stuff is not creativity, it's innovation. Yours creativity is somewhere it's gig economy, or you know, things which is fast paced and all these things where not life of people or not, the system is not too rigid. So yours is innovation and how you procurement and all these things to reduce the cost of damage, or how to help them to save all these things. You tackle when there's leakage, then that's your scope of research already. If you can bring that new insight in, people are going to listen to you. Okay? Especially construction as well. You know, construction, I understand, aviation, I understand, because we deal with research and business from everything. We can't just do one thing. Art is just 20% of what I do. So I was like, we do, and I do business and all these things. So that's why, like, you know, teaching, I just came in 4 months only for teaching. My main background is still in the business line. So I was like teaching also, I'm like, yeah, I'm balancing for them. That's why I said, hey, you can't touch me this and all these things, but we're trying to innovate. But like, it's not like the teaching system as well. We cannot be too creative until we share all the data and all these things. We still have to innovate and we still have to know the system. So be realistic. That's why I say that innovation will be your way. Innovate is to create a new ways, but looking at existing formulas and how to speed up or how to bring an effectiveness towards it. You know the system is there, but how to make it better and quicker. And then later on, how to add on things later on. Yeah. Sometimes you can't touch, innovate. Yeah.
Can I ask one more question? A quick question?
Yeah.
Okay. So the last presentation is about the creating new paths.
Yeah.
Okay. So how we prepare it? I mean, like how we prepare the new paths, how we mitigate the risk and etc. What is the steps?
Okay. The steps, of course, like coming back into education now here and stuff, I believe that, you know, professor and stuff, like, you know, the university and all these things, building new connection to build a new market. And then tackling into the youth market will be the future, because if you see the graph now, the population, whoever can tackle the younger generation, you're going to win the next game, right? The older generation, you know, you can't change the game already, right? You just do whatever they want and stuff. But if you can tackle the next game and stuff, you're going to be a leader of the next future game. But of course, a lot of times you have to come down and see the young people and see what are they thinking and stuff, not just, you know, you have to see what market you want to cater to. So like that, you're planting for the future. So of course, a lot of times and stuff, like even aviation company, some of them, you know, I really see a lot of them giving in, you know, some of them from aviation, they even set up an academy for the aviation, teaching them different things. So building another ecosystem for aviation company. So what, like, that's not the innovation part, is that the creative part you can put in how to create something new to bring additional value to the aviation company. So that is the extra value, and then that's patchable as well. That might be something separate. It can be on independent as well, your independent project, because like that you can reduce.
Ya lu aja ketemuan mana kalau belum mau.
Yeah. So a lot of times they reduce the advertising dollar and they set up academy, so that it's a promoting way as well. So a lot of times, I guess that the target market and all these things to build new connection, to build new the new ventures and stuff. But of course, step by step first. Yeah. Again, like here, you have diverse group of people here. So there's a lot of things to check. And then, of course, the global market. That will be another game. Because honestly, after you get your PhD and stuff, the international data or the international thing, well, PhD is a very good path to go a lot of things, So you might get international offer to other countries as well. So I guess that will be everyone's dream as well, right? To get, so that's why I encourage, previously I was working overseas only, I dare to come back. So now I get a lot of international connection. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Nyoman and Mrs. Soo. Thank you very much.
So unfortunately, that's all the time that we have for this evening. I know there are some
Namai, can I just answer all? Are you okay to stay for a while?
Yeah, maybe we can stay for another.
Okay, we're going to be fast.
6 minutes.
Yeah,
Right. Okay.
We're going to be fast. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Cepat lah. Kita ask. Okay. Okay. Alam.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you for Dr. Soo Wincci for the time, and Prof Nyoman. Thank you very much. I'm honored to be able to meet virtual with Prof Nyoman and Dr. Soo Wincci. I'm from industry management.
Okay.
I often attend Prof Nyoman webinar at PTPA. My company is carrying out the transformation of Industry 4.0. So my question is, how important do you think about the business transformation, and what is the most important thing in transformation, transforming ourselves or human resources to support the transformation of the business, including the 4.0?
Yeah. Oh, that's a very good question. That's why I was like the HR line and stuff. Grow your staff, grow your talent, and as a CEO or as a leader, you have to have more skill compared to your people down there. The game nowadays is like you can't be the bossy style. You have to convince your team. You have to be more than that, and you have to stand by. If anything happens, you are going to hands-on as well. Because hierarchy nowadays, as a boss and stuff, all of us are hands-on now to see that. Like that, you're going to see the wave and changes and stuff. No longer building too many layers in the company. And also giving flexibility and stuff so that, and you are so young, you are easier to tackle the younger market compared to any one of us here, right? So that that's your strength. And if you can listen to them, I see a lot of young entrepreneurs, they are so flexible because they listen to what they want, and young kids, that you get into this emotional and psychological matter, you're going to win their heart and game because they are not here just for the money. They are more than that. You guys are very brilliant bunch of people, and of course, long-term wise and stuff, know your market and stuff, but of course, learn from those wise ones as well, because it's not wise to just have the market, but not having a deep knowledge. So like for you and stuff, you have to go deeper. But of course, you have the advancement of starting it in the early stage and all these things, but add on, like people young like you and stuff, do more, and add on more where you can do, like one person can do a lot of things, so you add on values for the HR department and all these things, and always be, we say that always know your, I see that, the young company and stuff, it's easier for you to change compared to just now the old question and stuff. We have to go through the changing the traditional people. Like you, I bet your team is very young people, right? So a lot of times you have to act faster and of course hybrid, but of course like building new skills, like tackling new languages skill to go in new market, tackling new things and stuff, because you guys have the advantage of learning new things even faster. So, or know your strength as well, okay? So that, like that, you are more innovative and, tackle something which is, you have the first age of gaining that, okay? So again, like that, build a good culture. Culture is everything in a company, in the HR and all those things, human is the most problematic thing. Human. I'm not worried about the business. I'm really worried about the culture. Is it sustainable? Don't be too realistic until you can't manage it. Again, I see things is too transparent until you must know that what can be shared, what can't be shared, what can grow or what not to grow. And you know that like that, the management is fair and have independent as well. Okay, so a lot of times I think that internal things, I guess that for young companies and stuff, you guys are speeding and also have a lot of ideas and stuff, but just be careful of later on going into the deep sea.
Okay, but
All
the
right.
important thing is now our self-strength.
The self-strength, and you have to add on the limits.
Okay.
Meaning, if you want to break the traditional rules, you must have more skills compared to others. If you want to break the game, it's not to say now. It's not just to say how fast you are. I'm not afraid of you're not going fast. How deep can you go? You faham nga? If you're not deep enough, no matter how fast you are in the surface, you are running on the surface. It's like you're running a parallel, but you're not climbing in a mountain. So that's why a lot of people. That's why I said just not coming to it. You're speeding, but if you're speeding on the same level, you die also. That's why it's not only direction now, the depth and the height. Think. That's why I was like, is it level 1? It's just like, when I see, wow, you play very good in the level 1. Like, how about level 2, level 3, level 4, 5? So always remember that. Yeah. So the depth, is it parallel or are you just stagnant? The things are changing. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Soo Wincci and
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Right.
Okay, next one. Hurry up. Dewa.
Okay, thank you, Dr.
Okay.
Soo. Om Swastiastu, Mr. Nyoman. Good night. And good night, Mr. Soo. I am
Hi.
Dewa from Jayapura, at Papua, Indonesia. I'm now a new student of Information Technology Management.
Wow.
I'm very interested with your slide about the comfort zone.
Yes.
So I want to know what is your first step, how you can
Okay.
get out for your comfort zone, because people like you, I know, have a very good reason to stay in your comfort zone. So what is your first step, how to get out from your comfort zone?
Okay. I guess that, yes, I agree with you. I have, for me, I really can stay back safe, without doing anything and stuff. But the thing is, I always go back to my own purpose. Okay. How I achieve the comfort zone and why I want to do it and stuff. But why I went into the fear zone is because when I started my journey, I always wanted to learn and share and to guide the next future. So that's why until today, why I go in education, because of what purposes I planned since day one. So I always understand that, I'm not afraid that you guys are not going to change the world or whatever, but one day remember what's your purposes doing that business, doing this education. And, for me, that thing gave me so much strength. Even I'm so scared. I was like, I remember like 5 years ago, COVID and stuff, I was just laughing. 1 year in Berkeley, I was like, should I continue? I was like, I can go back, berlakon ke, or you know what? I was like, okay, I just go and find job and try and survive that. Because for me, it's like the mindset is where my direction is very clear. If I don't get that back thing for my Asian people, I think it's no matter how comfortable I'm here, I don't make a change, right? And people who make the change, you're going to suffer first, right? So I'm going to tell you that I am human as well. I've been through the period of aku takut sampai my viva for PhD, my business, my Miss World stage. Sumpah, aku takut. I'm same as you all. It's just that I told myself, you know what? I can choose to be not afraid. And why am I doing that? People are afraid of that because they don't ask themselves the purposes and all these things. But if you have a purposes bigger than your fear, you're going to get out of the bed. You're going to get out of your comfort zone. You're going to sacrifice your sleep time or sacrifice the time with the friends first you're going to get it back later. Okay. So I always tell them that get it now first. Don't be regret. You know, it's better for you to be late than regret not doing anything. You get what I mean?
Yes.
I always, you know, there's so many friends, you know, because I'm not just doing teaching, I'm coaching for free for so many people because they always come to me because I never stop studying, working, or even serving the industry or doing business. But why I do like this is because, for your information, everyone called me Godzilla when I was young. I was born with learning difficulties, seriously. It's because if I don't give up, because what I share now is the academic side. No one knows that I was born with difficulties and I was fat and was obese and I can't study. But if I stay there, I don't think I have a chance to speak with you all today, you know? So for me, I don't have a good background. I have to struggle. So I bet all of us here, a lot of us, we share the same story and all these things, but each of you represent your own people. So if you want to just stay with the norm, control by the wave, or you lead something out so that you're going to lead your people out, you know? So you have to think that direction, especially in Asia. We cannot let go. We are not first world country. You get what I mean? So we have to do more. Ours, kita tak ada perfect world. I told them, you guys can do just office work. You know, in Asia, we have to do everything. Everything, right? Indonesia the same, Malaysia sama je. Kita kena buat semua benda and we have so much challenge of the cultural norm, the traditional norm, the orang tua. Banyak lagi yang kita kena face kan? But remember, take it as, you know, I bet you do gym. Take it as a weight, you know? One day you're going to build a six pack. You're going to be so different from others, you know? So I was like, apa je, just take it and then just, you know, balance it. You're going to lose the balance now, but you're going to build a new balance later. You get what I mean?
Got it.
Yeah, if you don't build your new balance, how are you going to increase your strength? It's like, you know, like I treat everyone, you guys here like a superhero. It's the fundamental, it's the same as doing exercise. You know? If you want a six pack, you have to carry, you know, heavier weight, right?
Yeah.
You can't cheat, right? Yeah, so it's the same fundamental things. Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
thank you so much,
All right,
Dr. and Prof. Nyoman.
Okay.
We have one more. Rizal. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Nyoman. Thank you, Prof. Nyoman, and all the member of faculty member who has invited a very inspiring speaker today. I was surprised. This is the first lecture, but wow, amazing.
It blew your mind, right? I was like, I told Prof, I was like, oh yeah, I was like, I got a lot of things to share. I was like, of course, 1 hour is not enough. I really hope one day I really can fly to see you all as well.
Yeah,
Who knows, right, Prof? Right? Yeah, I was like, this is just a tester market. I bet that's amazing speaker. That's why I was like, we are trying to reinvent the whole educational thing. You are getting like, that's why I was like, my background is not just education. My background is so deep where the profile also I cannot fit all. I told them. That's why sometimes I was like, and every time I get a call, I have to go already, you know? You know, tonight, actually, I have another big event, which I rejected for you all. I have a government event. I was like, sorry, Indonesia invite me. I have to reject, sorry. It was a government event. I was like, cannot. I was like, Indonesia, this is my first Indonesian talk. I was like, cannot, I wouldn't let go. So that's why I was like, I will share, you know? So I was like, yeah, today I was like, I make a sacrifice to come here.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Rizal, you have any question?
One question.
Yes.
Okay.
Highlighted of the change of work following the world trend that you mentioned before. I watched some video who talk about following the world trend, and when I want to apply to the place I'm working for, I discuss with some college, and I discuss with the college on the hierarchy, in the high hierarchy. I'm working on in Japan company, which working with a very structural hierarchy, and then some of older people, they are strict on the comfort zone.
Yes, very strict.
I mean,
they won't let you to touch.
Yeah, don't change everything that has been applied for more than 20 years.
I get what you mean. Yeah.
Do you have any strategies how to encourage them, how to acknowledge them, and giving them some perspective so they can agree? let's go for it.
I guess
Okay.
I guess now, you know, now, okay, definitely. Okay, because I have a bunch of people like that here. I can't say much. Yeah, yeah. So, what happened was we have a few strategy where, of course, I'm doing more jobs now, and then to change the whole thing. But the thing as well, form some smaller team, those who you can convince first to try a different mode out. Then when that's successful and all these things, of course, some of them you cannot force them, okay, because they are already like that, okay. But put them in the position where they're comfortable first. You get what I mean? Because once you touch that, there's a cost of damage. Will be arguments, and you're going to face a lot of things where, you know, you're going to say that, hey, listen to me, I'm the boss of everything, you know, and I'm more senior and you and all these things, right? So the thing is, like, I bet also you have peers in your company, right? Same generation, which easier for you to convince, right? Right? So that one, you can do certain project doing that mode, okay? When slowly you prove that that's growing and stuff, and these people, whatever they do, continue. Because the thing is, like, that thing, you can't change them, but again, that we put them a lot of administration work. You get what I mean? Because we know that they won't go. So some things where we know that is rigid, where they do well and stuff, but the thing is, the next game and stuff, you have to protect this baby first and this young group of people. But again, you don't injure these people as well. They might be very good in administration. They might be very good in monitoring something. So a lot of times you are going to spend some years. And also, I always say that, you know, I always like, okay, in Asia, we can use this strategy. In Europe, we can't. You know, I don't know, in Indonesia culture and stuff, you know, in Malaysia, kita suka pergi lepak. We call this lepak, where we go and have lunch, dinner, team building. You go the soft way. Asian, you always go the soft way, which you spend more time with them, be friend dulu. You pretend you listen to them first, then they're going to share you. You know, I was like, you know, I remember when, as a Chinese, going to Melayu market, which is the Bahasa market here, I remember they don't like Chinese, you know, in our country. So I spent a lot of time doing what they want first. Then 5-10 years later, it's going to take you time. Now they always ask me in. They only trust me. I never say no to their things, but I just say that why not add on? Because you must also tackle there's ego in Asian people. Kita tak sama dengan Western people, where everything they cakap dia tak kisah, tapi sini you cakap dia kisah, dia ambil dalam hati. Right? Asian, you must, I'm so sorry, you have to put the emotional thing where you must study this thing. But that's why the Western is very hard. I told them the Western people come and tackle the Asian market fail. Because now it's so deep. But again, once you tackle this one day you will be the bridge of connection. You faham that. It's just like the same. I go the West first. I plead them. I say, please, you know, I do what you want. And then I'm not going to change you. I'm going to add on. Then slowly. It's the same as our parents. Right? Aku cakap, aku buat apa yang you nak, tapi aku tambah. Tapi aku tak akan usik yang itu. You know, because Asian mentality, you have to add on that. Aku faham sangat. So a lot of times you have to do, that's why I say that PR. What's public relation? It's not just, you know, you have to build relationship. But the thing is, it's going to spend you time to gain the trust. So there is a book, you know, Sun Tzu War of Strategy. Go and read the book. Art of War strategy, learn strategy, even for informatics, add on strategy studies for your, you know, because once you read the book, strategy planning, you're going to win the war without even fighting. You get what I mean? Read a book called Art of War, Sun Tzu, for current business. You're going to see how they tackle the mentality and stuff, because Asian business is so different from West, even doing the same thing. I can tell you, because of the history, because of the culture, and because of budaya semua benda ini, aku faham, but it's going to take time, but they're going to change. Again, that you're going to be their savior, because for them, they might be swept away by the new wave. It's very saddening when some of them is too late to change, but we are standing by for them, you know, but always remember, have an independent, have a peer to go that. But of course, you know, try and build the connection first. Once you have connection and you win their heart, easy to say. That's the Asian way of doing things. You know, it's going to take more time compared to the West. That's why a lot of times, you know, I remember, you know, producing a song in overseas and producing a song in Asia is so different. Overseas is very direct. 1 week can do. Asia, sometimes you spend few months and all this thing. You know why? Kita kena bincang dulu. But the thing is, you win their heart, you win everything. Later is going to speak fast. Yeah. So understand the working mode. But if you go Western side, it's very direct forward. Right is right, wrong is wrong. The Asian one, aku faham. We are not there yet, but we are going there. So you guys will be the lead changer, but be smart. That's why I was like, I'm not just from the academic side. I'm still in the industry. I'm still serving. I'm still doing. I'm still flying. So that's why also I told the education department, I don't want to just teach. I can't teach if I don't have experience. I can't teach and stuff. I can't bring in new things if I don't travel or if I don't go and learn. So a lot of things is beyond that. And education have shifted. It's not just academic side, right, Prof? So a lot of things we're bringing in, we're trying to bridge the thing, and we're trying to bridge a lot of things for you all. That's why we're here to share you a lot of insightful stuff. Yeah.
Thank you for insight. So start small, prove
that
impact,
was
and
wonderful. So start from the beginning.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Soo Wincci,
Thank you
for talking so nicely, a lot of things to us. I think there are a lot of appreciation as well in the chat. The students are writing a lot of appreciation. So I think, yeah, we learn a lot actually from you.
I learned a lot from you all as well, because honestly, I love to share within Asian people and all these things is because we know the culture.
Yeah.
That's right. A lot of things you put in business, there's so many things where it's not just one way.
Yeah.
Or it's not just by the book. Because it revolves around human beings. That's why you guys doing management, always remember, win the hearts.
Yeah. That's true.
Okay?
Really true. Yeah.
You want to checkmate, not just win the soldiers. You want to be a leader. But you have to go through the path. So always add on strategy. Strategy, you're going to win the game. So think out of the box, but know your game, know your information, know what industry. Same formula into different industry, into different people, into different culture. You see different results.
True. Yeah.
Yes.
So everyone is unique.
Everyone is unique because look, so many questions, even the same thing, you see different things. But please keep researching. Please keep sharing. Please keep seeing things beyond, you know, because like I think today is the first, you know, slide and stuff. That's why I was like, you know, lecturer in overseas and stuff is so different nowadays. There's no longer that, okay, sini blackboard. No. A lot of things is today's information is very current. And I'm picking a lot of things from other things and also a lot of experiences and stuff. Only there I share. Yeah.
Thank you very much. So
Thank you so much.
This is fun actually. I only asked you to deliver a talk within 2 days, and you deliver it very excellently, and all information actually very relevant to us.
Yeah, because like we really experience it. I'm not just by the book, but of course I went and do a lot of data, a lot of things. I've been traveling nonstop and stuff. So I've been also serving the government, the corporate. I've been meeting like mad and been serving the students as well. That's why I never limit myself. So I hope that now all the future people here, I want to see more leaders. I want to see more game changer. But of course, play it in a smart way. Okay. So I really hope to see, you know, one day, you know, I bet that this is a great university. I bet everyone here, you know, and the market is big for us and stuff. So know your game, be strategic, and all the best for your future. And I hope that it's more interesting later on.
Yeah, hopefully we can see you in real world later on.
Yes, I would be very, very, you know, like after COVID and stuff. Hopefully one day I can see your face to face. That will be very interesting to debate. I love debating and stuff. It's good to throw question because it must be 2 ways, you know? So if I'm wrong and stuff, shoot me. Well, each of us, we're going to shoot each other. That's why it's going to be beautiful. You know, it's not, teaching is no longer just one way, you know? So that's why me and my students, my friends, we're all friends. You know, we are growing together to get this game together. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you so much.
wonderful. And okay, thank you very much. So I think students will still have about maybe 15 minutes more where there are some more information that will be given by some faculty members. So I think every one of us, thanking you very much. A lot of appreciation from the student. I think that's all for this evening. Thank you, Dr. Soo Wincci, very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you very
Bye.
much.
Selamat tinggal.
Bye. Thank you.
Terima kasih.
Thank you.
Terima
All the best.
kasih.
All the best. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Terima kasih.
Thank you, Dr. Soo Wincci.
Terima kasih.
This great presentation.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Soo Wincci. Maybe we do documentation, Prof. Newman.
Okay, group photo. Yeah, we can do.
Come.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Before we are process the next agenda, for all attendants, you can turn on your camera. Okay, let's start with the first page. Baik, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thumb up, pause please. 1, 2, 3. Baik, next slide. Oke, mohon maaf Bapak Ibu untuk di stop terlebih dahulu untuk mengirimkan pesan di chatnya. Baik. Oke, 1, 2, 3. Baik. Slide terakhir. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you, Dokter.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr.
All the best.
All the best. Good
Thank you,
luck.
Soo.
Very
Thank you, Soo.
insightful.
Your presentation.
Inspiring, so inspiring.
Thank
So
you.
inspiring, so inspired.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you very much, Dokter.
Baik, Bapak Ibu, itu tadi benar adalah inspirasi untuk
Terima
mengawali
kasih.
perkuliahan kita pada malam hari ini. Thank you so much, Dr. Soo Wincci, for very great inspirational presentation and discussion tonight. Baik, bagi Bapak Ibu, untuk agenda selanjutnya pada malam hari ini, seperti yang telah disampaikan oleh Prof. Nyoman, akan ada sesi breakout room. Kami informasikan bahwa akan ada 2 breakout room. Yang room pertama Bapak Ibu bisa mengikuti untuk program Doktor Manajemen Teknologi dan juga Magister Manajemen Teknologi. Kemudian untuk breakout room yang kedua bisa diikuti oleh Bapak Ibu peserta mahasiswa baru program Magister Inovasi Sistem dan Teknologi. Dan dengan berakhir maka telah berakhir pula untuk acara pada malam hari ini. Terima kasih banyak untuk mahasiswa semester 2 ke atas yang juga telah berpartisipasi pada malam hari ini. Terima kasih juga Bapak Ibu dosen pengajar program MMT, MIST dan juga DMT yang mengikuti acara ini hingga akhir. Baik, untuk Bapak Ibu dosen dan juga mahasiswa semester 2 ke atas program di SIMT-ITS, kami ucapkan terima kasih Bapak Ibu bisa untuk meninggalkan Zoom ini. Semoga acara ini dapat bermanfaat dan selamat malam. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bagi mahasiswa baru, mohon ditunggu untuk informasi selanjutnya. Baik.
Terima kasih.
Sama-sama Bapak. Baik Bapak Ibu, sesaat lagi kami akan melakukan breakout room dan Bapak Ibu bisa memilih untuk sesuai dengan room yang dipilih.
Boleh roomnya diulangi Mas, apa tadi? Nggak dengar Pak Aziz, mohon maaf.
Ya, baik Pak Fajar. Berikut akan ada sesi breakout room, ada 2 ruangan. Ruangan pertama untuk program DMT dan juga MMT. Kemudian room yang kedua adalah bagi program studi MIST. Baik, berikut Bapak Ibu untuk breakout room-nya.
Yang manajemen teknologi S2, S3 di room 1, yang inovasi sistem dan teknologi di room 2 ya. Betul ya?
Betul, Prof. Nyoman. Baik.
Ya, silakan. Mungkin nanti ada penjelasan sedikit lebih lanjut mengenai prodi ya. Mungkin Enggak lama harusnya ya, paling ya 15 menit gitu ya, 20 menit.
Siap Prof.
Ya, silakan join ya.
Ya. Baik, Bapak Ibu bisa klik di bagian bawah breakout room. Di situ akan ada dua pilihan untuk room 1, S3 dan S2 Manajemen Teknologi. Kemudian room 2, program Magister Inovasi Sistem dan Teknologi.
Yang ada 4 kotak kecil-kecil itu diklik ya.
Betul.
4 kotak kecil-kecil itu diklik, kemudian ikut salah satu room ya. Ada yang belum bisa? Ada 4 kotak kecil-kecil bertulisan breakout rooms itu di bagian bawah.
Sudah diklik tapi nggak bisa juga, Prof.
Oh, nggak bisa. Siapa itu? Siapa yang nggak bisa? Bisa dibantu nggak oleh teman-teman?
Saya Ernest, Prof.
Ernest kemana? Bapak ke room 1 apa 2?
Room 1, Prof.
Bisa nggak dibantu, Mas?
Ya, Bapak, kami bantu.
Ya, oke, Bu Gita dibantu ya. Siapa lagi yang belum bisa? Siapa lagi yang belum tahu caranya gabung di breakout?
Baik, Bapak Ibu, yang masih belum bisa bergabung bisa di rename mungkin untuk nama depannya MT atau MIST begitu. Atau apabila ada Bapak Ibu masih terkendala, silakan bisa on mic, nanti akan kami provide ke room 1 atau 2. Bagi Bapak Ibu yang mahasiswa lama, kami perkenankan untuk bisa leave Zoom ini. Terima kasih Bapak Ibu untuk partisipasinya.